Yes, let's have a look at the Cork team. They make a total of 6 changes from the side beaten by Kilkenny in the league final 6 weeks ago. They've altered every line of their team. Anthony Nash, the new goalkeeper, he made his championship debut in 2007. He's served as understudy to the injured Donal Cusack for 7 years. Martin Coleman no longer part of this panel. Stephen McDonnell has been left out of the full back line, with Brian Murphy now wearing 3 and Conor O'Sullivan coming into the left corner. Tom Kenny is a very experienced player. He replaces another experienced man in Sean O'Halpine, who starts on the bench. Another Napiercig man, John Gardner, will start on the bench. His place at midfield taken by championship debutant Darren Sweetenham, who's the first Doheny's man ever to play senior hurling for Cork. Cathal Naughton comes into the half-forward line for Niall McCarthy. He has a new lease of life under Jimmy Barry Murphy, with the exciting Conor Lehane also included on his championship debut. And finally, new to championship, Jamie Coughlin replaces Luke O'Farrell at right corner forward, and with Patrick Horgan taking over the captaincy, with Donal Óg ruled out through injury. Donal O'Grady here with me. Who are you focusing on with Cork?
Well, I'm focusing first of all on Páirc Cronin at centre forward. He's the main outlet for Cork to puck out, and has been during the league as well. And I can see a big battle here with Conor O'Mahony, and whoever wins here will have a big bearing in the game. And at full back, Shane O'Neill is likely to line out there, and Brian Murphy going to the right corner.
OK, now let's move on to Tipperary. Their bench, as you know, loaded with attacking talent, with Corbett and Kelly left out of the starting 15. Brendan Cummins makes his 69th championship appearance in goal for Tip. The bigger the game, the better he seems to play. 37 years young. Conor O'Brien, one of 3 changes made by Declan Ryan. He takes over from Donna Marr. The half-back line anchored by Conor O'Mahony, who ruled the air at crucial times against Limerick in the last game in Thurles. The 2010 All-Ireland final midfield pairing of Brendan Marr and Shane McGrath restored. James Woodlock is replaced by McGrath. Owen Kelly left out of the attack by Declan Ryan. He was taken off against Limerick. Patrick Bonner-Marr starts today after making a very big impression in Thurles. And the full forward line, a powerful unit, with Brian O'Mara in top form, we understand, and likely to begin the match on the edge of the square. Donald, that is Tipperary.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing how Shane McGrath does. You know, he was left out earlier in the year, and he's recognised as one of the game's top midfielders, really, Dara, and you know, lost of form earlier, but he's back in a big way, and I think he's very, very dangerous when he runs into the defence, and he could cause Cork defence big problems if they allow him to do that.
All right, Donald, thanks a million. So much talent on both teams. We're looking forward to this an awful lot.
We certainly are indeed, and Cyril Farrell, it's also a big day for a lot of these Cork players. This lad in particular here, Darren Sweetenham from the Doheny's club, they're better known for football down there, down Dunman, with the home of Sam Maguire, of course. How are they going to get on this test?
Yeah, he's a good player, was going well during the league and then didn't play in the league final because of exams. He's a new kid on the block, and he loves to drive at defences, kind of a modern kind of a style midfielder. Lets it go an odd time, but then drives forward, and it's good to get a cross-field ball. He's up against today because, if the two boys, Shane McGrath and Brendan Maher, 2 or 3 years ago, top midfield partnership. Now Shane has got a bit of injury since, but Sweetman is a big cog in the Cork team. But if he plays well, it'll be interesting, because the Tip midfield, the last day I thought in the last 10 or 15 minutes, got completely on top against Limerick.
Who's to win it?
I think Tip will get there. Their experience should see them through, and their extra bench.
Experience for Tip, Gerald?
Well, what I'm really looking forward to, Michael, is to see, you know, at the end of this game, will we be saying there is a team here that has a prospect of giving a challenge to Kilkenny for the championship this year? If there is going to be, I would imagine with their experience as well, I'd agree with Cyril that it should be Tipperary, but it's going to be very tight. On the basis of experience then, the 2 lads are going for Tip. Let's see how it plays out down by the banks of the Lee. Back to the commentary box then to rejoin Donal O'Grady and first Darragh Maloney.
Michael, thank you. Welcome back to Páirc. We have a very good crowd here. They reckon around 30,000 would attend this game. It certainly appears to be up near that as the teams parade around Páirc. Wonderful support for both counties, as you would expect, and a little bit of a breeze blowing from left to right in the first half. Cork will have the advantage of that in the first half, and Donald, they're going to be playing into what's known as the scoring end here.
That's right, Darren. Cork lost the toss. Cork usually like to play against the breeze for the first half. They'll be playing with the breeze now, playing into the Blackrock goal, which is the main scoring goal in Páirc. So they would have preferred probably be playing into their own supporters in the second half. But Tip won the toss, played against the breeze, and I think they'll be out to try and Cork play the start. They'll be expecting a big start from Cork, 20 minutes, non-stop action, and they're probably taking this thing out of Cork for the first 20 minutes.
2008 was the first time Tipperary had won at this ground since 1923. They don't have a good record here. Cork with their young team, perhaps a little unsure of themselves after the beating they suffered at the hands of Kilkenny in the league final. That was 7 weeks ago. Brendan Cummins, in yet another championship campaign, provides great confidence to the full-back line playing in front of him. Now we pause in Páirc Chaoimh on Munster semi-final day for Amhrán na Bhíonn with the Castle Lions pipe band. Tipperary and Cork meeting for the 9th year in a row, which is a record. Brian Gavin of Offaly will referee this game. So here we go, Munster semi-final day. A couple of clashes off the ball, one involving Cathal Nocton and Páirc, but the ball hasn't even been thrown in, and Brian Gavin is over to sort this out with the two men. Extremely fired up. And Maher ends up on the deck. Pat Cronin getting involved. This wasn't the sort of action that we expected. And there's been a yellow card issued to Páirc even before the ball has been thrown in, Donald.
Also unusual because Cathal Nocton is a most genteel sort of player. I didn't see the start with Barra, to be honest with you, so I'm not quite sure. But I saw Brian Gavin on across, and he gets things going as fast as he can.
And the ball finally thrown in. Tipperary on the attack straight away. That was Tom Kenny, and now Shane O'Neill out to try and clear for Cork. The start of this, even with that yellow card, it'll be even more frantic now. Bonner Maher for Tipperary. Drilled that over the head of John O'Brien. Big Brian O'Mara in super form, we hear, and Conor O'Sullivan blocking the first one down, and that's a big boost for Conor O'Sullivan. Had a torrid time against Lar Corbett in this fixture 4 years ago. Shane McGrath over his shoulder, forward for O'Brien. Chance for Tipperary, and there is the first score of this Munster semi-final. Put over the bar by Noel McGrath.
Yeah, plenty of movement there in the tip full forward line, and Noel McGrath crossing across from the left, operating at full forward, crossed across, and poor ball by Conor O'Sullivan coming out of defence, put Cork under pressure, and good score. That will settle the tip down certainly.
And Páirc has the yellow card against him already. Paddy O'Sullivan going down, free given to Cork. The Rock's brother, he's been in good form all through the league, and Cork want a big game out of him today.
Paddy Maher just missing the puck out, and a good recovery there by Paddy Sullivan, and Paddy Maher on a yellow card already from before the game. We want to be very, very careful. You know, discipline is going to be important, and you know, if you put your hand around a person's neck or hurley, you could be in trouble.
Patrick Horgan, the captain, with the responsibility from the place ball, and he slotted that over at Cork draw level. Horgan has been seen out around his home club Glen Rovers practicing at 7 o'clock in the morning some days, and the practice paying off. A point apiece. Brian Murphy, as you saw him, not on the edge of his own square. The ball has gone out over the line. Michael Cahill getting involved now with Jamie Coughlin. Coughlin, the 20-year-old, on his championship debut. It's a new right side to the Cork attack.
Yeah, Michael Cahill winning the ball there and slipping out, and I think Jamie Coughlin was taking exception to the fact that Cahill kept the ball in possession, didn't give it away. He was looking for a foul. And I think that's the Cork's policy, try and get the ball as quickly as possible.
Now Coughlin after a short sideline cut, and he's gone past Cahill. Jamie Coughlin inside, goal chance, and it's put over the bar by Darren Sweetenham on his championship debut, the 19-year-old. He's a fantastic rugby player as well, but he's pretty good at hurling, as you can see.
Yeah, great run by Jamie Coughlin here, and a nice pass. Good tackle by Tip, and they put Darren Sweetenham under pressure. He stuck the ball over the bar, but a very, very good run, and I think Cork will be trying to get through and run at the Tip defence as often as possible.
Brendan Cummins straight down the middle, getting good distance on that. No 45-metre lines on the pitch today, as you can see. Shane O'Neill of Cork, he's got help from Lorcan McLaughlin from Cantor. Been put under pressure. It's a Cork line ball. Two Cork midfielders. Sweetenham is 19, McLaughlin is 22. Conor O'Sullivan will cut this for Cork.
Yeah, and Cork will only be careful there because Noel McGrath has drifted away over to the far corner, and if the ball comes back quickly, they could be in trouble.
Lorcan McLaughlin got that from William Egan. Conor O'Mahony sweeping up behind. He did it so well against Limerick, particularly in the air. Caught some serious ball for them in the final 15 minutes when they came back into the game. Owen Cadigan, the dual star. Conor Lahan blocked down brilliantly by Brendan Maher. Skips away from Páirc, but Lahan is on it. These guys have pace to burn. Lahan off his left side, going for the point and getting a brilliant score for Conor Lahan on his championship debut, and these young guys know no fear.
Well, Cork are showing great commitment there, and that ball won by Conor Lahan. Good run across the middle, but Tip will be very, very disappointed with Páirc. I think he left the ball after himself. He should have committed himself a bit harder for that one. 3
unanswered points from Cork. Lahan involved again. That's up for Paudie O'Sullivan to try and chase after. It's Michael Cahill picking him up. O'Sullivan spins one way, then the other. Has help on the 20-metre line. That was too short, though. It was intended for Patrick Horgan, but Paul Curran has it for Tip. And here they come again. Tom Stapleton drilling it right down the middle. Two players put hands up, but nobody got the ball for Cork. Now they have it with Tom Kenny. New lease of life for him at right half back. Now William Egan shortens the stick and fires it forward. Michael Cahill in the best position for Tipperary to get to that first. He's got Coughlin with him, and it's come off Cahill again. And Coughlin doing well against Michael Cahill in the stages of this.
Well, you would have to say that Cork are showing very good commitment. They're not letting the Tipperary players away with anything up front, and they could have come up for complaints about this before. Good block here from Conor Lahan. This is just before the score, and he got back onto it very quickly.
Darren Sweetenham has a point already. He's cut that well, but it's just off target. So, first wide of this Munster semi-final.
Yeah, well, these sideline cuts are a famous bugbear of mine. They look great when they go over, but more often than not they're wasted. I mean, he might have been better off just cutting it into the edge of the square, put Tip defence under a bit of pressure.
Brendan Cummins favouring this side with the puck out. The hand goes up from John O'Brien, drifting out to the wing. Now it's Brendan Maher for Tipperary. Has options left and right. Maher still going. Tried to pull on it, and the free has been given to Tipperary. Maher ended up on the deck, and Brian Gavin on hand to give Tipperary an easy free.
Well, Jimmy Barry Murphy will be very, very disappointed with his defence that time. They did everything right. Brendan Maher had ran into a cul-de-sac, was turning to try and offload the ball, and was pulled back. Not sure what defender was involved there, Dara, but they'll be disappointed with that because discipline is going to be very important, and they've handed Páirc a handy score.
Yeah, he was their top scorer in the league. No Kelly or Corbett in the Tipperary team today. Well, he made the defenders think about it. Páirc put it over and brings an end to Cork's run of 3 points in a row.
Great take there, and that's Tip's half-backs and midfielders are particularly good in the air, and Noel McGrath adding to his height there. Like good take.
Cronin good in the air for Cork. Cronin having a go at this, wind helping him, remember, but he's put that one wide. Two wides to Cork. It's the first time, by the way, since 2001 that Kelly and Corbett haven't featured in a Tipperary team in the championship. Waiting in reserve on the bench with an awful lot of attacking talent. O'Halpine and Gardner there for Cork as well. It's when you use them, though. That ball is still in play. Lorcan McLaughlin improvised the pickup, but John O'Brien has it for Tipperary. Brendan Maher letting the ball go in early. Very. Noel McGrath got a touch on that, but Conor O'Sullivan racing back for Cork and improvised the clearance, and Owen Cadigan with a huge clearance for Cork. All the way, defence into attack straight away. Patrick Horgan tried to get it for Cork but left it after it. Cork forwards putting real pressure on the Tipperary backs when they try and come out with the ball. Cahill knocked it. Naughton, they've had 2 wides, but that one has gone over. Wonderful score from Naughton. Tipperary were in charge of that situation, but pressure from the Cork forwards paid off, and Naughton did the rest.
Yeah, that's the feature of the Cork forward line. They're putting great pressure on the Tipperary defence, and Naughton is switching with Conor Lehan, and they're asking questions of the Tip wing backs, and fine score there by Conor Naughton, and that'll settle them down a bit.
Cork by 4-2. Brendan Cummins has been busy. Cadigan pulled on that first time. Darren Sweetenham across, took it away from Bonnermar. Tipperary line ball.
But one thing I've noticed there is that both half back lines and midfields have been a bit guilty of just striking the ball anywhere. Possibly it's the start of the game and they want to get the ball away, but you know, Tip have been guilty of it, hitting 2 or 3 aimless balls up to Cork defenders, and one Cadigan just launched the big one there, whereas I think they might be better off if they tried to spray the ball out to the wing forwards.
Didn't catch it great, Noel McGrath from the cut, but O'Mara has it. Now it is Garrod Ryan. He'll drift all over the place, and Ryan has put it over for Tipperary. Good score. Good work done inside by O'Mara, and Garrod Ryan slotting it over.
Yeah, a fine score by Garrod Ryan there. Played excellently 2 years ago in the All-Ireland final, and struggling for a bit of form in the league, but you know, that will settle him down. Good score.
4th meeting of the year. Brilliant from Páirc and catching it first time shooting. He deserves a score for the catch alone. 2 he's caught cleanly in the air. And a wonderful score. Best of the match so far from Páirc Ronan.
Yeah, great score, great fielding there right above Páirc who'll be their main man in the back line, and a great score from Páirc Ronan. That'll surely settle him, and you know, big fillip for Cork.
It's an area Cork will target, not first of all to let Páirc get the ball in his hand. Normally so good in the air. Here's the Bonnermar for Tipperary. Cork putting it up to them in the early stages. Out in front is Noel McGrath. That was comfortable for Tipperary.
Yeah, Noel McGrath there is operating at full forward, and you know, that's a matchup. He's bigger than Conor O'Sullivan and height, and I think they're trying to isolate Conor O'Sullivan and get Noel McGrath in his own. Excellent point, very simple, and nice score stuck over by Noel McGrath, his second.
The reply from Cork upcoming with Darren Sweetenham. Free in. Patrick Horgan heading across already to line up the free.
Yeah, just a little tug there in the short, and the referees are being very, you know, vigilant where that's concerned. Any pull in the shorts or the jersey is being picked up immediately, and Brian Gavin got things right there again.
We've packed a lot into the first 10.5 minutes here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, haven't we?
Well, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Tipperary have got their scores probably slightly a bit easier than Cork, and Cork have a nice fresh breeze with them, and this is an important free
for Patrick Horgan. The crowd behind on the terrace like it. White flag goes up. 2-point game.
Yeah, and scores like that are great for confidence builders. You know, that wasn't an easy free, and he struck that one over, and he struck an early one over as well, so that'll give him a bit of confidence. But Cork will have to get a low ball, I think, into the full forward line and take on the Tipperary defence if they hope to win this one.
Huge puck again from Cummins, and a wonderful catch from Páirc, and he lets it off to the Bonnermar. Bonnermar boring through for Tipperary. Angle, difficult side netting. What a catch.
Great take there from Páirc, and he's not noted for going high in the air, but brilliant, and offloaded the Bonnermar. He might have been better off to stop and knock the ball back to the 20-metre line.
Tom Stapleton got a touch on that in front of Conor Lehan, who hasn't had a chance to run at the Tipperary backs just yet. They'll have to be vigilant. A real collision in there, and it's tidied up for Cork by Brian Murphy. 3 on his back, regarded as one of the best cornerbacks in the game. Lorcan McLaughlin letting the ball do the work, and the defending in there done by Michael Cahill. But again, there's Cork pressure as they swarm around the tip backs when they try and take the ball away. Patrick Horgan, Conor O'Brien there behind him, and Horgan has been caught high, perhaps around the helmet area. They've got a free in. He will hope to recover and slot this over.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that again. He ran into the fence, just a little tug, I think, on him, and he slid down. You know, he might have been looking for the free as well, Darragh, because he was going over at the time, but that ball came from a long ball. Lachlan McLaughlin, Tip had it really. They should have been, you know, Michael Cahill came across, first touch was off a bit. They had it won, and that's a feature. I think Cork are looking to expose that, just to belt the ball in and maybe put their defence under pressure, and it's been succeeding up to now.
Patrick Horgan, unusual lifting action, but as you can see, it's very effective. 7-4 Cork.
Yeah, he struck the ball very hard, much the same as Páirc had done with his free for Tipperary there, making sure that you know, he'd make no mistake and just drove it over the bar. That's his third now from frees.
Sun comes out in Páirc Brian Murphy had hands on that, he's got it. Lets it move, Lorcan McLaughlin. Lower ball this time, gave the defender a bit of a chance, it squirted away. Now for Cork, it's Jamie Coughlin. Had a glance at the post, Coughlin, the roar tells you it's gone over. These young guns are absolutely flying.
Yeah, brilliant play by Jamie Coughlin there. I thought he might release Conor Lehan at one stage, but good score.
And it brought about a different puck out for Brendan Cummins. He didn't go long with that, he went short on that occasion. Garrod Ryan for Tipperary. All very tight. Here's John O'Brien. Over-elaborating. Garrod Ryan has it again, a little bit of space to do his work, and that's drifted over the shoulder of Noel McGrath. Conor O'Sullivan just in front of him for Tipperary. They're queuing up as they look for possession. Páirc has to dig it out, steadies down, shoots and scores, and that's gone over. And that was comfortable again for Tipperary, wasn't it?
You'd have to say that the running of Noel McGrath, who's operating as a full forward, being opposed by Conor O'Sullivan, his movement is superb, and he's setting up a lot of scores for Tip.
They've only got 5 of them, but the last couple they haven't had to work particularly hard for them, Tipperary. Conor O'Mahony put the hand up, there was a hurl went towards the hand. O'Mahony's gone down clutching his injured hand. Michael Cahill for Tipperary, he's been made to work all the way through, and again it's Patrick Horgan of Cork putting pressure on him. Coughlin was doing it earlier.
Yeah, well, it's a feat play. I think their inside forwards are putting great pressure, and Michael Cahill, really one of the top cornerbacks in Ireland over the past few years. Right, he's having a thorough time at the moment. He's not being allowed you know, come out with the ball, and might have been better advice to pick the ball with his 2 hands that way, because once you go down a little bit nearer the ground, if you get a little nudge, you're going to get a free.
Horgan has another point scoring opportunity from the place ball. Tricky enough angle. Horgan, beautifully done. That's a quality point. And the indiscipline in the Tip full back line punished again by Patrick Horgan.
Yeah, that's his 4th free. Darragh. Cork have 9 scores and 4 from frees, and all expertly put away by Pat Horgan, and you can see from the way he tackled Michael Calder that his confidence is up.
Brendan Cummins going with the long puck out right down the middle. Páirc got across towards it. Brendan Maher could have got it, but it's Páirc instead. Burke for Tipperary. They do that well, and he does it extremely well. That is another point for Páirc.
Yeah, excellent score here, and Tip's movement, I think, is causing big problems for Cork's defence, and Tip seem to be picking up their points a little bit easier than Cork. Cork getting maybe mostly frees, but Tip, anytime they attack, they're doing well.
Páirc Maher put the hand up, couldn't hang on to it, got it second time around. Brendan Maher lets it move quickly. O'Mara was there, and Noel McGrath indeed, and now Bonner Maher. And Brian O'Mara, good score, very good score. Just shifting through the gears, 2 points behind.
Yeah, good score again by Tip, good movement, but you'd have to say that Cork defenders should have got clear. They had the ball at one stage, mix up between Conor O'Sullivan and Owen Cadigan, and Tip are back. Every time Cork score, Tip come back with a score. Ding-dong struggle here. Excellent game to this.
Nash went for Páirc Cronin, now Páirc O'Sullivan. Great pick, he's no stick anymore though. Goal scoring chance, it's put over by Jamie Coughlin. Páirc O'Sullivan lost the stick, but put it on a plate for Coughlin.
Yeah, the ball just went off the head, I think, of Páirc Cronin and came through, lost his hurley. and Jamie Collin will be disappointed. Should have taken a step inside or a couple of steps inside just to lose the cornerbacks and give himself an angle. That's 2 goal chances that Cork have had now, and they've missed both of them.
So far in this Munster semi-final, we've had a point a minute. Darren Sweetman made it easy for Shane McGrath, and the ball turned over, and now it's Brian O'Mara, who's very difficult to stop in full flight. They managed to do it though. Shane O'Neill in close to him. Shane McGrath trying to come out the back of that ruck or maul or whatever. Anyway, Tipperary, you've got a free in.
You'd have to say, Cara, that Brian Buggy O'Mara was unlucky not to get a free in the first place. I think his heel was clipped as he went forward, and you know, the old saying, justice was done, probably could be applied to this. Shane McGrath here with the ball in his hand, trying to get forward here, and just William Egan just give me a little tug, and you know, chance to go from Páirc, who's looking very, very sharp, I must say.
So Burke with the strike and with the point for Tipperary. It's really good stuff. Anthony Nash was a slip by Pat Cronin. Cronin has got it back after really good work from Darren Sweetman. Walked down by Stapleton. Páirc pulled on it. First time Tipperary have it. McGrath again continuing to drift out wide, but that is a Cork line ball.
Yeah, very clever ball there from Thomas Stapleton. Hopped in front of Noel McGrath and gave him a good chance. Now he slipped as the ball and he knocked the ball over the line, but he's causing big problems for Conor O'Sullivan and for Cork's defence. But if Tip can shove more ball in there low and fast, I think they'd be far better than just to leather it in, because I think Noel McGrath certainly is having a very good game up to now.
Conor O'Sullivan with the cut for Cork, but it's not a particularly good one. Brendan Maher had to go one-handed with that. Owen Cadigan put his hand up after it. John O'Brien shortens the stick. Now Brendan Maher getting involved, and William Egan did extremely well coming across him. Garrod Ryan trying to dig it out for Tipperary. Cork have it backed up. That's out of play. Tom Kenny conceding the line ball. Frantic stuff.
Nicely blocked there by William Egan, coming across, knocked the ball away from Brendan Maher. Tom Kenny showing his experience, not throwing up because he thought he might be flicked and lost, and unlucky to knock it over the line.
Putting pressure on Páirc Maher, but he coped with it extremely well. Burke putting the hand up after that. Bonner Maher got involved too. Darren Sweetman clears for Cork. Páirc O'Sullivan drifting out the field. Wonderful from Páirc O'Sullivan. Steadies down, shoots. He deserves a score, and he's got one. Really fine point from Páirc O'Sullivan. Great skill to set himself up, and he slotted it over. 11-8.
Yeah, marvellous skill there. You know, to remind you, Kilkenny do a lot of that, knock the ball down onto the way they're running, and lovely point. And most of Cork forward, 5 of Cork forwards have scored from playing on. Pat Hogan 4, chipped in with 4 frees.
Cork by 11 points to 8. Lorcan McLaughlin doing really well in the air. It's Patrick Horgan, and Horgan, oh, what a glorious point from Patrick Horgan. Stunning.
Yeah, great score. He must have been listening to me, Dara, that you know, felt out of things. But that's all. Cork's 6 forwards now have scored from playing. That was an excellent point. And you would have to say that both forward lines have the defences under pressure. Anytime the ball goes in for Cork, they have a good chance of scoring, and so have Tip.
Shorter puck from Brendan Cummins. Tom Stapleton. Assistance from Michael Cahill. He's no stick anymore though. Stapleton finally lets it go. Brian O'Mara out there with Shane O'Neill. Bonner Maher again, the ejection of pace. He ran straight into a brick wall in the shape of Owen Cadigan. Now Pa Burke, free in Tip coming. William Egan was closest to that as Burke ended up on the ground.
Yeah, we see Pa Burke here going out, way out the side, and he actually had lost the ball, and William Egan pulled him back. And you know, I think you have to be more disciplined than that, and forced to, if the forward is good enough to get a score, fair enough. But I think it's not an easy free, and if it goes wide, well, Cork will see it as a plus. But you know, the ball was lost, it was gone over the line, and William Egan fouled, and you have to be more disciplined. But Cork defence and Tip defence under a bit of pressure, so maybe they're pulling and dragging a little bit easier than they should be.
Into that bit of a breeze. Pa Burke keeping it low as a result and slotting it over.
That was an excellent score. Excellent score there. That was an easy free. Struck it very, very well.
Got 3 of Tipperary's last 4 points. Bonamara with Owen Cadigan. That's quite a battle between the two of them. Here's Brian O'Mara. Fires that back. Help from Garrod Ryan. Ryan was hooped by Lorcan McLaughlin. And Cork have the ball. Well, they had it, lost it, and the foul given to Cork. Brian O'Mara not impressed with the referee's decision.
Yeah, but a correct decision. Shane O'Neill won the ball in the air, and Brian O'Mara came up and just tackled him in the chest. That's the great hook there by Lorcan McLaughlin. That could have gone over the bar, so Cork lucky to get away with it maybe, but they'll be delighted. And let's see what happens now with this ball from Anthony Nash. Drops probably the edge of the square.
Now he can really hit them. That is going to drop in an interesting position. It breaks loose. Conor O'Mahony back there for Tipperary. He's fouled though. He's fouled. It's a free out. Brendan Cummins had the ball in his hand, but the free given to Tipperary.
Breaky ball there on Páirc Cronin, trying to get past Conor O'Mahony. Would have been much better. Discipline was important there. Forced the Tipperary defence to get the ball out.
Páirc Maher free from the Cummins free. Half blocked as he played that forward. Now it's the Bonamara. Injuries restricted his game time during the league. Pucking that into space over for Shane McGrath. Darren Sweetnam has gone across to him, and McGrath has gone past him, but he's still on his shoulder and managed to hook him as well. But Shane McGrath still going for Tipperary. Now Noel McGrath, and the ball has gone wide.
Well, I don't know about that, Dara. I think the last man to, was a Cork man just to knock the ball there. I think that might end up as a 65 for Tip.
It is a 65.
Just Shane O'Neill just flicked it away at the last minute, and then Noel McGrath claiming it, and I think Brian Gavin made a decision over the umpire there.
Yep.
So, and I think that's a good thing too, Dara, that if it is a 65 and the referee calls it, I think that's fair enough. If the umpire gets it wrong, once the right decision is made, I think that's important.
Páirc again to try and narrow the deficit with just over 10 minutes to the break here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. He struck them beautifully all afternoon, and he's continued that.
Well, to be fair, Páirc is probably the most consistent forward that Tip had during the league, and especially against Limerick as well. He's played very well, and unerring from frees.
The referee Brian Gavin will throw the ball in to restart the game. Conor O'Mahony dusting himself down. So Cronin and Shane McGrath for Tipperary having a very good game. And Brian O'Mara is doing likewise, way out in front of his marker. Now Garrod Ryan for Tipperary, switching the play and inviting Noel McGrath to drift out and take Conor O'Sullivan with him. Bonamara waits about 30 metres from the Cork goal, and that is a 65 this time. Definitely signalled by the umpire, as you can see.
You would have to say, Dara, that Noel McGrath is creating big problems for Cork inside, but the problem for the Cork defence is that they have Brian Murphy on John O'Brien for height-wise, and Shane O'Neill is on Brian Buggy O'Mara, and Conor Sullivan isn't as tall as them, and he's finding it very difficult.
The Rock here watching his brother and his county in action.
A good student of the game, Dermot O'Sullivan, and of course one of the top full-backs in the game.
And Páirc is just so consistent, firing that over from the 65, and just a point between them. 3 in a row now for Tipperary, 3 in a row for Páirc. Páirc Maher comes up with the Cork puck out. Oh, brilliant. That was Lorcan McLaughlin. No, it was Cathal Naughton indeed. Now, here comes Páirc Cronin of Cork. Fired at Darren Sweetnam, was a bit too quick. Paul Curran made it very difficult for himself. Conor O'Brien threw himself on the ball, and the referee has given Cork the free.
An appeal there by Pat Hogan put a bit of pressure on Brian Gavin, saying that Conor O'Brien had touched on the ground. good tackle there by Colin Naughton on Páirc, and that has been a feature of the Cork forward play since the start. And we've seen how to probably be in control, but Cork were claiming that he lay on the ball. I don't think he did, to be honest with you. I think it's so in probably would have been a fair result, but I don't think Cork will quibble with that.
Patrick Horgan with the free, slotted that over, no trouble. Free takers on form today, Páirc and Patrick Horgan. 13-11 Cork. Sweetnam was under that. It was the stick of Brendan Maher which touched it towards the Bonner Maher. Owen Cadigan there with him. Cadigan's found him a real handful. Brian O'Mara, he was hooked just as he took the shot and the ball has gone wide.
That would be appreciated really by the forwards and by the goalkeeper. An excellent hook by Shane O'Neill. Looked as if Brian Buggy O'Mara was going to stuck it over the bar, and a great hook.
Anthony Nash at Páirc Cronin just took his eye off it. Here's Conor Lahan, has been willing to shoot and perhaps should have taken half a second longer just to steady down, but he's pucked it wide number 3.
Yeah, maybe I've been better advised to turn and run straight at goal and try and link up with one of the inside forwards.
Hasn't really had an opportunity to do it. Brendan Maher made time for himself. That's gone a bit short, gives the defenders from Cork a chance to get out for it, and after a fashion they get it. Owen Cadigan foul. John O'Brien claiming it was side to side, but it was a fair bit away, and there's a yellow card for John O'Brien for that.
Took his time more than anything else, and that must have been seen there as a deliberate foul. John O'Brien just went in, took his with his hip and just clipped his thigh, and Brian Gavin very quick giving him a yellow card.
Nash coming out to take the free for Cork. This could be interesting. Brendan Cummins, oh, he lost it. The whistle had gone though. The whistle had been blown by the referee. Brendan Cummins, the ball came off his left hand and into the back of the net.
Well, I clearly heard the whistle up here before the ball had landed. Maybe when the whistle went that he lost concentration, but possibly for a square ball, I'm not quite sure, but big decision.
And it's gone against Cork, and this free though goes their way. And John O'Brien, who has got a yellow card against him, just poked the ball into the ground, and the referee ran over towards him. He's moved the ball forward for descent. Here it is again.
Yeah, I think Páirc Cronin was actually behind Brendan Cummins, and might have been in the square, and correct decision by Brian Gavin, but a rather unlucky one, and Páirc Cronin will be disappointed himself.
And Patrick Horgan has the wind helping him. He's on his own 65-metre line.
He's often not as reliable with these there as he is from the inside ones, and sometimes William Egan hits the long range one, but it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Very deliberate pick up again, and Horgan looking anxiously after it, and the reason for that is because he knew from the moment he struck it that it was going a little off target.
And sometimes I think you're better off with an outfield player like a wing back, maybe, that will strike the ball in and just drop it at the edge of the square and see what happens. Particularly after that last one where Brendan Cummins missed it.
Or would Nash have had a go? Anthony Nash, the Cork goalkeeper, plays outfield at times for his club. Has an eye for goal, we're told, but he would have fancied a go at that. But Cork are under pressure now. Brendan Maher had 2 goals at taking possession of the ball, and that was a really nice point from Brendan Maher. And Tipperary back to within 1.
And again, Dara, Cork's defence had that ball, should have cleared it maybe, and were robbed, and lovely pass and a point, and ding-dong struggle, and Cork's dominance of the puck out has dried it a little bit, and Tipper coming back into the game. Paul
Curran did well initially, but Cork have got it back. Páirc Cronin, no, now it's Tipperary's ball again. Shane McGrath, low into the corner. Brian O'Mara got quite a gallop to get out there in front of Shane O'Neill. And O'Mara is such a strong man, he just helped O'Neill, eased him away from the ball. Shortens the stick, now it's the Bonner Maher. Little bit of space, Maher boring through, heading for goal, but he's lost control of the ball. It's put out for a 65, and Cork happy to give away the 65. That could have been in the back of the net for Bonner Maher. Well,
Bonner Maher isn't a noted goal scorer for Tipperary, so maybe the Cork defender was delighted that was him rather than maybe Noel McGrath. And nice flick away by Conor Sullivan, but giving a great chance out to Páirc maybe to draw things level. But Bonamar is creating all sorts of problems for Cork, but he's caused all sorts of problems for every defence that he's come up against. But excellent game here, Conor. End-to-end stuff, and you'd have to forward.
Lar Corbett is tugging off for Tipperary. He was warming up about 10 minutes ago, but now the tracksuit top and bottoms have been removed, and there he is, ready to make his first entrance to the championship. We understand that Garrod Ryan is going to come off, but we're watching Páirc now from the 65 to bring Tipperary level. He's been flawless up to now. Big pressure on him. He didn't catch that at all right. Anthony Nash fouled on the way out, I think by John O'Brien, who really needs to mind himself. Here he is.
You would have to say that he's Lar Corbett coming out. Now that might disturb the balance of the Tipperary forward line. Noel McGrath will probably go to wing forward. Lar Corbett in the corner, but a massive roar of welcome.
His 49th championship appearance. The goal scoring record, you know all about it. 26 goals, 67 points as well. He's been working hard since his return in the last 4 weeks and doing some private hurling sessions with Tommy Dunn, we're told. Páirc. It's gone away from Corbett. Owen Cadigan elected to bat it down. Wasn't the correct choice. Brendan Maher for Tipperary. John O'Brien out fencing with it a little bit. Lorcan McLaughlin been put under pressure, serious pressure. William Egan came across to try and get it. O'Brien down on his knees. Who's got the ball? It's Lorcan McLaughlin of Cork. Belts it forward. Paddy O'Sullivan not in the right position initially to get that, but the error from Paul Curran gave him half an opportunity, and O'Sullivan hasn't given that up. There's a tussle off the ball. There were some hurleys flying as Conor O'Mahony comes out with it for Tipperary. O'Sullivan across after it. Michael Cahill there has been put under a lot of pressure all day by the Cork forwards. Now for Tipperary it's Shane McGrath, just threw the ball away. Onto it is Patrick Horgan. Brilliant passage of play this from the two teams, and Horgan steadies down and shoots and fires that over. And a huge moment in this Munster semi-final. Several times Tipperary, their backs had control of the ball, but Cork put them under relenting pressure and they lead by 2.
And that's a huge psychological score, Dara, particularly when you wrestle the ball from defenders. And Patrick Horgan, excellent score, right? And you would have to say that both forward lines are on top, but here we see him going through there, right? Shorten the hurley up right to a beautiful point.
One added minute, we're told, at the end of the first half. The first score after Lar Corbett's introduction is Cork's. Bonamar went to pull on that first time. Darren Sweetnam has given it inadvertently straight to Shane McGrath. McGrath had a Cork man on his shoulder. Now it's Brian O'Mara. O'Mara trying to bore a way through. He hasn't caught that shot well. He was half blocked down, and the referee has spotted something in there, and he's given Cork, or given Tipperary indeed, a free in. Was it John O'Brien been fouled in there? But Brian Murphy been spoken to by Brian Gavin, the referee.
Brian Murphy just making the point. I think that was 6-1, half dozen the other, but you know, Brian Gavin was very decisive, spotted whatever happened, and easy free now for Páirc. Interestingly, Lar Corbett seems to have come in and occupied the left half forward spot, which you would think that he would have gone into the corner. That's why I was saying that the balance of the attack might be upset a little bit, because Noel McGrath made a run out to right half forward and then went back in. You would think that they would play Lar Corbett in near the goal, but he probably strike this over the bar.
Well, he belted one earlier on, and Cahill Nocton just running across, and for that the ball has moved into an even more central position. Nocton clearly trying to distract Páirc, but remember earlier on Burke was shaped as if he was going to go for goal and belted it over. I wonder, will he try and really concern all of these Cork defenders? And Nash in the goal. Burke drills it, came off a stick and then off the post, I think, but Cork able to clear with Owen Cadigan. There is the whistle for the end of the first half. The first half of this match is over, and Cork leading by 14 points to 12, and it's been a thrilling match, hasn't it?
Thriller, Dara, but that was a silly decision by Páirc. You know, you tap it over the bar, you're going to half time just a point down against the breeze, and you know, they might rue that by the end, but you know, top class display, great game, and the spectators loving it. And the quality of the finishing from both sets of forwards, absolutely brilliant. Great second half to come. Cork are leading here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh by 14 points to 12.
We will now have the primary goal game with 5 and 11 teams for Tipperary. And the final vote is sponsored by the Irish Daily staff. And the field results are as follows. The Cork Boys team.
SuperValu, proud sponsors, real supporters of the GAA Football All-Ireland Championship.
As she lines up her next target in all-new Revenge.
Hello, birthday girl.
Dad, Uncle Bill's here!
Bill Harmon took the stand with searing testimony against his longtime friend and colleague, David Clark.
Emily herself comes under scrutiny.
Why are you so interested in this girl anyway?
Because she's interested in my son.
A double episode of the hit US drama.
Where your money is, my money is.
That's what I'm counting on.
Revenge, Tuesday from 9 on RTE2 and RTE2 HD.
At Liberty Insurance, we always start by giving you a price you'll like and a policy that's full of incredible benefits. So for a comprehensive private car insurance quote you'll value, call 1890 89 1890 or visit libertyinsurance.ie. Liberty Insurance. Insurance the way it should be.
To the back, the rest stay close. Number 7 is clearing goal.
With Duracell Power Check, you'll know you'll have the power to never miss a golden moment.
UEFA Euro 2012 with Coca-Cola.
Just talk to her, man. She won't understand me. Hey, didn't Louise do Spanish for a junior cert? I'll give her a call.
Hey, sis.
What?
Yeah, how do you say
where are you from
in Spanish?
Eres sin hogar.
Hola, eres sin hogar.
How do you say you have a lovely smile?
Me gusta tu
odontología. Tus orejas son deliciosas. Quiero un kilo de tomatos.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're saying, but I just love your Spanish accent.
Gracias.
Now Meteor has no roaming charges in Europe, so you pay the same as you would at home.
Another first for the people of Colorado. Local news now, and the Blue Mountain supply train has been blocked by an avalanche. Sources say the clear-up could take days.
Coors Light, Rocky Mountain Refreshment.
A financial plan for every fan. Ulster Bank, proud sponsors of the GAA Football Championship.
Half-time in this Munster hurling semi-final. It is, of course, Cork leading Tipperary 14 points to 12. Ger, that was certainly an open, free-flowing game. Lots of great scores and great entertainment.
Yeah, real traditional Munster hurling, really. You know, none of the spoiling tactics as we see as it goes on later on to semi-finals and finals of the championship. Now, a few noticeable things in it is the way Tipperary are playing. They're not catching the ball, they're breaking the ball. You know, just batting it down. And that's leading to a lot of broken ball around the middle of the field. It's been picked up and it's been moved like lightning to the full forward line. Both sides are doing that, you know, and that has led to a lot of, you know, forwards getting space. And when they get the space, they're taking advantage of it and putting it over the bar. Now, Tipperary are hitting the ball in really low into their forwards. You know, we were saying before, and not able to cope with the high ball.
Yeah.
But the Cork backs, especially that full back line, are reading it really well. And Carrigan is commanding the centre very, very strongly, although Bannon Maher is involved in all kinds of rucks and all kinds of action that's there. But overall, like, we have, all the Cork forwards have scored from play. Only two of the Tipperary forwards haven't scored for play, and one of their midfielders have. So it's a really open, enjoyable game, and as Donald O'Grady was said there, it's no wonder the spectators and everybody watching, I'm sure, are really enjoying it, because this is the kind of hurling we like to see.
They've certainly got value for money from what they've 35 minutes. Sir, looking back at some of those Cork scores that they got in the first half, there were excellent points. Some of the young players as well coming in.
I know
they have the breeze behind them, but certainly they know what the posts are as well.
Lovely passing there. Sweetman could have a chance of a goal there, just bang. But they're really putting pressure on the tip backs. Again now here, a long ball coming in, blocked down here. The man's going to be cleared, goes back onto his left side. Again now, they're putting their bodies on the line. This is Conor Lehan, a beautiful score on the left side. Has been quiet enough, but the Cork forwards, both sets of forwards, Michael, are on top. Here again, this is a brilliant catch. Up in there now, Páirc Maher is on there, but that's Páirc corner, catches and bangs it, turns left hand over the bar. That's as good as points anywhere. Again, the ball breaks here, anything could happen here. Again, Paulie O'Sullivan's causing turn, a little hand pass here. Jamie Compton turns aside, bang. Again, he's sorry that he didn't stick it in the net, but they're still great scores, and both sets of backs, especially Tip ones, are really under pressure.
It's a forwards benefits day so far, and Tip got their scores as well, Ger.
It is. It's a real forwards day, because as you're saying, the Tipperary backs are in real trouble, but Noel McGrath is having one of his really good days today, and he's such a stylish player. He was off form up to now, but when they play that ball in low, they get the ball, they're out in front of their man, and once they have it, there's no question about their skill, left or right, they have always somebody who's going to score. And Bannon Maher is involved in so much of it. He gives that to Brian O'Mara, he puts it over the bar. Now you'll see him here again, he fights for it again, he wins it again, lays off the pass to Brendan Maher coming through from midfield this time. So, we were talking before the game, the importance of Bannon Maher, in everything good they do it. He was clean through for a goal, but he'll miss those ones, but he does so much other great work laying off for other players. But really, one thing I've seen about the game is the Tipperary full back line. Mickey Cahill was in trouble on one side. He's gone over to the other side. He's not playing there. Conor O'Brien is now back over there. I cannot recall even one ball cleared by any of the Tipperary full back line.
They're actually all in trouble inside
him. And Páirc Maher outside him. And Maher outside him is in trouble as well.
We've actually picked out just a little illustration of that, lads, just to show that, because, as you said, both sets of backs are under pressure, but Tip much more.
This is the ball that should be cleared now. Here again, Páirc Maher just gone for it. Again, Cork have a little look around. Uses the pace here, bang, a good big left-handed over the bar. That's as good a score as from Cahill knocked him. But a lot of the time, Tip now, this is Mickey Cahill should have picked it up here. Goes to tap it, plays it too cute. Next thing, he's pushed off the ball. Here they come back in, and he fouls Paulie O'Sullivan. And it's a hard free, Pat Horgan, but Pat Horgan and Pat Bucker are on form and bang over the bar. So they have them under pressure. The only thing is that there is a strong breeze. Again, another ball that should be cleared. You'd have to say the Cork forwards are putting their body. The smallest man on the field is probably going to win this. Shane McGrath is bursting out. He's gone away with it. And here it comes again. Patrick Horgan picks up. This is a fantastic score. Back onto his left side. He's a good 45 yards under pressure. Bang over the bar. They're as good a score as you can see. The only thing is maybe there's a stronger breeze under that we think, and the tip backs might come in under the high ball. Maybe not going in as far the second half.
Well, Cork certainly have had that breeze in the first half. The second half of Cork and Tipperary coming up shortly. Also, another chance for you to enter our big hurling competition. Do you know someone in Australia who'd like to join you at the Munster hurling final? All the details in just a moment.
Reliving great championship moments at experiencemore.ie.
It's crunch time for Mark Keneally.
It's everything you want to do when you're an athlete. The Olympics is the be-all and end-all.
To run the qualifying time for the Olympics, as well as squeezing in his wedding. London Calling, Tuesday at 10:35 on RTE1.
TV has come a long way. The next change is the switch to digital. Irish channels are now available on ServeU, but the old network will switch off on October 24th, 2012. So if you're watching this on a TV with an aerial, you will have to take action to avoid your screen going blank. For guidance, visit the website or local 1890 940 980. It's time to go digital.
The same hoarse voices, the same clenched fists, the same words uttered that some sitters missed, the same soaring highs, the same crashing lows, the same oh yeses, the same oh nos, the same old characters, the same place in the stands, the same mad passions. We're the same, we're fans. Championship every Monday in the Irish Examiner.
Wi-Fi, charging points and real comfort on board. Someday air travel may be this good. Fly expressway from Bus Éireann and connect to every corner of Ireland.
Looking nifty-50. Need a number nifty? Call 11850.
Right now, with FBD, you get cover for a courtesy car after an accident. And everyone who buys a new car policy online gets a 10% discount. Just call or go online. FBD, our policy is you.
SuperValu, proud sponsors, real supporters of the GAA Football All-Ireland Championship.
Are through to this year's Munster hurling final on July the 15th against either Tipperary or Cork, and you could be going along with two friends from Australia and plenty of spending money as well. It's all in our special competition. These are the details. No further changes on the Tip team for the second half. By the way, a crowd of 32,568 in Páirc watching this match, watching Cork leading Tipperary by 14 points to 11. But the question is, lads, who are they going to see winning it?
Yeah, well, Cork are up to 2 points, 14-12, Michael, but it's just, you'd have the feeling that the breeze might, just help
Tip would have it in the second half.
I just think that they'd probably get there and then, but it's a good game. A goal is going to have a terrible bearing in this game. And I think Lara will probably move in around corner for the second half and be a threat inside there.
There is no doubt, Ger, that a goal will be a huge score in this. Who's the most likely to get it?
Well, if you want a goal,
Lara's the man.
Lara's the man. And, Donald was saying there he's on at wing forward, but I imagine in the second half now with the wind that he'll go into full forward or corner forward maybe.
Corner, yeah.
And maybe Seamus Canlon come on, because it's just one of those days so far when there's nothing going right for John O'Brien. So, maybe he'll come on. Now, another thing that Donald said before the game was the influence that Shane McGrath might have. He's playing absolutely terrific at midfield. He's holding the midfield for Tipperary, because Brendan Maher, I know he scored a point just before half-time, but he wasn't in the game at all before that. But Shane McGrath playing really, really well there. So Cork, on the other hand, will be very happy with all the players are playing. So I wouldn't see any change in the Cork team, but Tipperary, now is the time, maybe Lara inside, maybe Canlon outside, because this is the 35 minutes that's going to decide really the rest of the year for them.
No, it is indeed. Back then to the commentary box to rejoin Darragh Maloney and Donald O'Grady.
Michael, thank you. Welcome back. Tipperary, as the lads mentioned, will have the aid of the breeze, which is getting, if anything, a little stronger at the start of this second half. The ball breaks loose and Darren Sweetnam, no changes either side, by the way. Lar Corbett is still in what appears to be a wing forward position for Tipperary, but it's Cork on the attack with Podius 1 point in the first half. Just threw that away. It was intended for Páirc Cronin.
Yeah, the intent was good, Dara, but he should have given the pass a bit earlier when he was closed down first. He gave the pass as a last resort. And I'm just looking at the Tip team, and Brian O'Mara has seemed to come out to right half forward, or even half right half forward, and Lar Corbett is operating in the right corner. He's gone back out left half forward now, so it's obviously they're moving around, but Brian O'Mara has dropped out a little bit deeper into the middle of the field.
Great cut from Brendan Maher, but it was Owen Cadigan's and then he lost it. For Tipperary, the Von O'Mara lets it go to Brian O'Mara in that half forward position. The Tipperary man bearing down. William Egan of Cork is there with him, and O'Mara really gave that everything, and he's put it over for the first point of the second half. He buried that, Brian O'Mara. It was a great run, and again, as we saw in the first half, he's so hard to stop when he does this.
Yeah, when he gets going, Dara, he has a good bit of speed about him. He's not that great to pick up breaking ball, but great speed.
Point between them, Tom Stapleton of Tipperary juggling with that. That was very nicely done by the Cork fullback Brian Murphy. Conor Lahan unable to get to it. Cahill knocked it. Páirc Cronin putting some distance on that. It was for Jamie Coughlin, and Coughlin fouled by Paul Curran. Free into Cork. He's a live wire, that guy.
Yeah, well, a good ball across from Páirc Cronin there, right? Nice little interchange of play between Colin Naughton and himself, and Paul Curran, I think, lost it in the air, and Jimmy Collin tried to get inside him, and I didn't think there was that much in it, but pity maybe that for Cork that Coughlin didn't get away, because he was definitely in for the goal chance. There was no other defender in the area.
The Cork captain, Patrick Horgan, seeking and getting his 8th point. 6 of them from frees, point apiece since the resumption.
And psychologically, that's always important, because once there's a score in, right, that that's the tackle there. Not a whole lot in it, I think, and but once you get back and once one side scored, the other side come back, that's very, very big psychologically for you.
Bonner trying to win that in the air. It's well done by William Egan of Cork, though. Now Tom Kenny. No, indeed, it's at Lorca on McLaughlin. Páirc Cronin couldn't onto that. He got a hold of a tip man and knocked him to the ground. And the notebook is out, and the yellow card for Páirc Cronin.
That was a big plus for Tip there, because Lorcan McLaughlin was coming onto the ball at pace and was gone inside the Tip half-backs, and it could have been dangerous for them. So good decision for Tip, and Páirc coming way out here now to take this. Here we look at.
Yeah, that was the foul.
Yeah, no need for that. The ball was gone, so you just you do the best yourself that you can to impede the player, but you don't foul him.
Páirc, if the 45-metre line was there, he'd be pretty close to it, the tip one, and he's put that one wide. Still 2 between them.
Yeah, well, at the risk of repeating myself, Dara, I'm not a great fan of forwards coming way out the pitch to take frees unless they're noted for it, and I think Páirc's range is about 60-70 metres.
Cronin drifting out onto Stapleton. Páirc. Thomas Stapleton helping it. Clever little ball. Conor O'Mahony firing that up. Brilliant from John O'Brien. Here they go. Lark Corbett. That combination we've seen in this field before. Corbett juggling with it. Brian O'Mara's there with him. O'Mara may yet make something out of this. He's dragged down by Cadigan, but the referee's given the free the other way. He's given the free the other way. Brian O'Mara been told to get up by referee Brian Gavin. Anxious moments for Cadigan.
Well, we saw last week there, I think that Derek Conan came on and lost the ball, and Lar lost the initial one there. Ball bobbled out of his hands. Lack of match practice, Dara. Last year or even earlier this year, if he was playing, that ball was in his paw and was back of the net probably, and that was a big decision for Cork, and they'll be delighted with that.
Beautiful little hand pass in the build-up to that from John O'Brien, just firing it into Corbett's path as he ran onto it at pace. Anthony Nash belting that down again. It's Páirc Cronin who's the target, and he's got it eventually. 3 tipmen around him. William Egan for Cork. Now Paddy O'Sullivan steadies down. He got 1 in the first half. That's a gorgeous point. He had a lot to do, made the space for himself so well. It over. 3 ahead now.
Yeah, lovely. Paddy Mar losing it for initially in the air there. Nice little turn there, shortened the hurley and straight out the bar. Great score.
Tipperary free. Lar Corbett ending up on the ground. Quite a sub to be able to bring in. And we're told didn't put on an ounce in weight since he last played. Naturally fit
the
guy.
same in 10 years' time, Dara, when we look at him.
I'm sure. Here's Páirc right on halfway. What does he think of that one? That's gone over.
Yeah, fine score from Páirc again. Very confident with the frees, and anywhere from the 65 in, I think that he's showing great ability today.
Now a little hold up, a change of footwear for Brendan Maher. Last year for him ruined by injuries.
Yeah, tip bag man there, John Hayes, or Hot Pint as he's known, very busy there with a set of boots, and he's being very supervising the putting on and taking off of them.
It's an art. Jimmy Barry and Dr. Khan, anxious times. Well, it's going to be anxious all the way through, no matter what the result. It's part of the day, but Brendan Maher finally, I think, is ready to continue, and Anthony Nash restarts the game. Tom Stapleton made an early move to get to that. He missed it, so did Cronin. Conor O'Mahony didn't. Challenged by Sweetenham and Lorcan McLaughlin. Great skill from Conor O'Mahony, pulling on it in the air. That was intended for Noel McGrath, didn't get to him. Cork backs doing well. Owen Cadigan had it, then lost it. The dual star. Conor O'Sullivan, good vision. Lorcan McLaughlin. That wasn't such good vision. There was nobody in red near that as he took the ball forward. Tom Stapleton has been busy and very effective for Tipperary. Down on top of Páirc. Now John O'Brien improvising again. Here's the Bonner Maher, and he's been fouled. Oh, there could have been a goal chance. John O'Brien, the referee's whistle. We could hear it clearly blow. Bonner has got the free in for Tipperary. Could have been more. And who's he going to have a word with? Brian Gavin, the referee.
Well, I think that Brian Gavin may regret the fact of blowing a bit early, because nothing seemed on there but Bonner Maher. That's what he's good at. And he released John O'Brien there, Brian Murphy being booked. But he released John O'Brien there for what might have been a certain goal, and I think Cork will be delighted with that.
Páirc again. Missed a few from further out, but from that sort of range, scores those in his sleep. Point between them again. He's fired up and tries to bring a reaction from his teammates around Páirc Queeve. The supporters of both counties get involved again. Once more, Cork target Cronin, and that means it's a busy time for Tom Stapleton, and it's a Cork line ball. Darren Sweetenham, they've done that a couple of times in the first half, but Darren is going to cut this himself. Pat Cronin has gone right in close to Brendan Cummins, the Tipperary goalkeeper. Effortless swipe at that, and it'll come straight back out. Really good play from Paul Curran, the tip fullback. Lar Corbett hasn't been able to get on it in the last couple of minutes. Owen Cadigan driving out for Cork. Conor Lahan, here's his chance now to run at Conor O'Mahony. Lahan has pace to burn. O'Mahony is staying with him all the way, but Lahan goes past him. O'Mahony taken out of the game, and Lahan took too much out of that. Tipperary with men back there, Conor O'Brien, and they managed to snuff it out. Lahan, perhaps he was surprised to get away from Conor O'Mahony as he stumbled, but he took too much out of that. Here's William Egan of Cork. Pace of this lifts again. Cork leading by a point. Cahill knocked it. Got one in the first half. Páirc Maher in front of him. Knocked it. Swinging at that, and a tester for Brendan Cummins. Did extremely well, the Tipperary goalkeeper. For Bonner Maher, brilliant. From the Tipperary centre forward. Lar Corbett running off him. John O'Brien. Corbett is free. Just a little bit behind him. Here's Lar Corbett for Tipperary. Lets it go. Goal chance, and it's buried in the back of the net by Noel. The comeback man involved in it, Noel McGrath, burying it past Anthony Nash. Is that the decisive move?
Great catch from Patrick Bonner Maher there, and this guy has great vision, and he picked out John O'Brien and Lar Corbett. Noel McGrath steadied himself and stuck it in the corner. Great goal from Tit.
Cian McCarthy is going to come in as we watch the referee issue a yellow card to Conor O'Mahony.
Yeah, I think what that's about was the tackles on Conor Lahan as he went through. I think used the hurley a little bit, and that's great refereeing. I think Dara, that he didn't stop up to play them, but a little bit of inexperience from Conor Lahan, that he didn't go down, take us free like the All Blacks do.
Cian McCarthy will be in next time we get the opportunity for Cork. Here's Páirc Maher. Rare chance for him to surge forward. Páirc Maher for Tipperary. Maybe that is the move. He punches the air in delight, Páirc of Thurles Sarsfields and Tipperary. Goal between them.
He's excellent at this, coming forward there and just slipped it hurley up high, slipped it over the barn. That's a big score now for Tip, and they lead by a goal.
In the blink of an eye, Cathal Naughton gone off the Cork team. Cian McCarthy, we're told, from Sarsfields, Teddy's lad, of course, absolutely flying in some recent challenge matches. Well, now he gets his chances. He fluffs the first one that came to him, and Conor O'Mahony belts it forward for Tipperary, and that is high on Brian Murphy. Now, John O'Brien was booked in the first half, and he's gone. Tipperary down to 14 players. John O'Brien with a yellow card against him and sent off here in Páirc. They lead by a goal, but now they're a man down.
Well, you would have to say that was a needless tackle, and John O'Brien's an experienced player. Just see Brian Murphy coming onto the ball, and he just tapped him, you know, nothing much in it, but a tap around the head is a stray yellow card, and you would have thought that he would have been very, very careful. I actually thought before half-time they were taking John O'Brien off and putting Lark Corbett on because he was on the yellow card, and you know, that'll upset things down. But I've seen 14-man teams do very, very well, and the way the Tip forwards are playing, it's going to be very, very difficult for the Cork backs now to see who's marking who.
Owen Cadigan is still receiving treatment at John O'Brien. Just can't believe it. Tipperary down to 14 players. So, issues for Declan Rice. It's the fellas out in the field who've got to deal with it even more than Declan Ryan. Anthony Nash belting that forward, and now Páirc O'Sullivan. Next score will be interesting. They should get one from this free. Páirc O'Sullivan really pumped up for Cork.
Well, Cork will be anxious to get back in the score. I know they suffered a big deficit there, a goal and a point. And Páirc O'Sullivan is doing particularly well on Paul Curran. Any ball that's going in, he's winning it, and he's doing very, very well.
Patrick Horgan continuing to do his stuff. That's their third point of the second half. Noel McGrath's goal coming 10 minutes after the restart indeed appeared to be the move, but John O'Brien now sent off the Tip team. Brian O'Mara trying to pick that up. Brian Murphy there for Cork, and then Conor O'Sullivan. Conor Lahan, open road in front of him. Look at Noel McGrath working hard to try and get back at him, but Usain Bolt wouldn't get near him. Conor Lahan with the shot for Cork. It's just tailing away. Jamie Coughlin there after it. Michael Cahan for Tipperary. He is teeth tough, and they've got a free out, Tipperary. Another Cork substitution coming. Daniel Carney, a midfielder, is replacing another midfielder. Darren Sweetenham going off. Carney wearing 21, another man from Sarsfields.
Well, Carney is more of a running type player, a type of a Jerry O'Connor type player. If he gets on the ball, he's very, very good at taking the ball past the opposing half back line and letting it go. So to be he does now in his first big championship game.
Brendan Cummins with the free. It's got very dark overhead. The Bonner-Marr lets it off. Here's Brendan Marr for Tipperary. Nice point. Nice point.
Yeah, you would think with Cork with superior numbers that they'd have extra defensive cover, but that can happen when you have 14 men. You know, somebody looks around to see who's marking who, and players get lost. Simple point by Brendan Marr.
Goal between them again. Daniel Carney. Páirc Cronin. It's not going to hit its mark, and actually hit the Cork man's stick. I think Jamie Coughlin on the way through. It's ended up as wide, fifth wide, first of the second half. Tip have poked 3 wides, one of them coming in the second half as well. Brendan Cummins gets the ball back in play for Lark Corbett, still out at wing forward. Lock-on McLaughlin for Cork. Corbett is there with him. McLaughlin weaving one way then the other. Shortens it down. Páirc O'Sullivan. Cian McCarthy. McCarthy steadies down, and He's got his point. Very fine point. Lachlan McLaughlin did a lot of the hard work out the field. Cian McCarthy flying in challenge matches and going went here already.
Well, you would have to say that Lachlan McLaughlin is playing very, very well for Cork today. He's been very, very busy, very high work rate, and he's using the ball well when he gets it. And that's Cork's modus operandi. Get the ball, have a look and see what's happening, and an excellent score by Cian McCarthy. He has a very, very good bit of pace if he can get free.
Brian O'Mara put the hand up, he lost the stick and ultimately the ball. Shane McGrath there, and Brian O'Mara has reunited himself with his hurley, but he's hurt himself as the ball was pucked harmlessly towards Anthony Nash. Clever little ball, keeping it low to Lorca on McLaughlin, and here he goes. He can run with the ball on the stick, but decides to let it move. Fires it in. Cummins coming out of his line. Good goalkeeping. Very good goalkeeping. The most experienced goalkeeper in the country. The record holder fires that forward. William Egan out there. It came off the shins of Noel McGrath. Back with Conor O'Sullivan. The pace of it's gone up again. Owen Cadigan. Cadigan fires that up towards Patrick Horgan. Now it is Cian McCarthy. He's got one already. Spins round, spots a man in a better position. That was Páirc O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan gets the point for Cork and punches the air in delight. Moving nice.
Yeah, lovely score by Cork. Good control and lovely pass across. Páirc O'Sullivan might have taken on, and he had Jamie Call on his shoulder, but an excellent point, and Cork coming back into it.
They are indeed just one behind, two in a row for Cork. Páirc Mar lashes that forward towards Noel McGrath, but always favoured the defenders. William Egan, clever, and Shane O'Neill completes the clearance, sending it back down towards Páirc Mar. Caught it in the air brilliantly. That's what he's so good at, amongst other things. Here's another one. Lehane went flying at him. Páirc Mar steadies down, but didn't get the shot at all right. Pressure put on him. Tipperary man down injured, and a Cork man as well. Lehane is down for Cork. This was brilliant.
Well, that's great, but the first rule is that you don't hit ball like that up to Páirc Mar, Dara, because that's how he's so good at. Shane O'Neill had the ball. There was two players above him that he could have just knocked the ball up to, and you know, they could have ran then at Páirc Mar, but hitting ball like that up to him is, you know, manna from heaven. That's like hitting ball to Tommy Walsh from Kilkenny. It's going to come back at you just as far, but Mar should have played the ball a bit lower. Great catch there again.
Some great fielding, haven't we, today?
That's been a feature of the game, really, like Paul Curtin there, like going up, and that's Patrick Bonamar. Great catch. Brilliant catch there again by Brendan Maher.
Now, I wonder, is Brian O'Mara, is his day done? We did mention a little while ago that when he came out over the line, he was limping, but he's got a heavy strapping on his left leg, and they may be about to bring Shane Burke in. Here comes Conor Lehane for Cork. There was no pressure on him at all, and Tipperary just switched off. Brian O'Mara going off the Tipperary team. Level for the second time. Lehane firing this over.
Yeah, what Cork should be doing now, Dara, is running at the tip defence, and every time their half-backs get the ball, use the extra man and run at the tip midfield and run at the defence, and use short ball then up to the forwards to run a tip and try and execute the scores from there, because Páirc Sullivan, Jamie Cullen and Pat Horgan look especially sharp.
Shane Burke on for Tipperary, as you can see. Shane McGrath had Daniel Carney with him for company, but McGrath has open field in front of him. He should score. There was no pressure on him, but he's let it tail to the right and wide, and that is their fifth wide. Now 3 in the second half.
Yeah, you'd expect a little bit better from Shane McGrath. He could have kept on going, really, and when he looked inside, maybe there was nobody else inside looking for the ball. Patrick Maher was at the edge of the square, but Tip's movement has lagged a little bit inside the full forward line now.
Conor O'Mahony of Tip. Tom Stapleton. Conor O'Sullivan read that well and left Noel McGrath in his wake. O'Sullivan with bad memories coming in here of playing Tipperary 4 years ago, and it was Lar Corbett who led him a merry dance, but O'Sullivan has done well. There is Shane Burke free in, and an opportunity for Pa to put Tipperary in front again.
Yeah, a little tug there by Patrick Cronin and a foul by William Carney on Shane Burke, who's just been introduced, but William Egan, who burst over the ball, should have used the players outside on his left, went into contact and lost the ball.
Pa Burke getting ready to take the free, but we've a hold up because James Woodlock is going to come on at midfield for Tipperary and replace Brendan Maher. Woodlock started the last day.
Yeah, and he's a good runner with the ball. You know, holds on to it a little bit long at times, takes the wrong option, but definite plus, and he'll add a bit of impetus to Tip in the middle of the field.
So Páirc with the free for Tipperary. Important strike of the ball, and he slotted that over the bar, and Tip nudge in front again. Down to 14 players. Remember, Pat Cronin had his hand on that. McGrath there also. Here's Tom Stapleton. Got through a lot of work for Tipperary. That's a Tipperary line ball. Tip still with Owen Kelly in reserve, remember, and Cork with Sean Hogue and John Gardner waiting patiently on their subs bench. Shane McGrath will cut this for the Munster champions. That cut it extremely well. It ran away from Shane Burke, but he's back on it. But there's Owen Callaghan sweeping up behind his half-backs. Hadn't really been put under pressure by Shane Burke, and Callaghan forced into the mistake. Loose clearance. Páirc has been really good from the frees and good from open play as well. And they've opened up a 2-point lead.
Well, Callaghan will be very disappointed with himself there, because he had the ball and Brian Murphy in the perfect supporting position behind him, was open for the pass, and he elected to hit it straight to Páirc, straight over the bar.
Páirc is the go-to man for Anthony Nash from the puck out. Still they favour him, and still they struggle to get possession. But that's gone out over the line, and it's actually been called as a Tipperary line ball.
You see just a final flick by Cork's Jamie Coughlin there, and sideline ball for Tip. This is a crucial period in the game now, coming up to the hour mark. The next 5 minutes are going to be crucial. You would look that Cork probably need a goal, Dara, to win it at this stage, and Tip with just 5 forwards. They need to be very accurate as they supply the forwards, rather than just belting the ball in anywhere.
Shane McGrath taking great care as he placed the slitter to cut it. It'll come straight back though. Tom Kenny of Cork. Flicked down by Patrick Horgan, and he's got away from his man Horgan. Clever little hand pass outside to the free man. Jamie Coughlin, the 20-year-old, has made a really fine championship debut and fires that one over.
Grand good score here again from Tip. Nice pass from Patrick Horgan to Jamie Coughlin in space, and the game has really opened up now. Loads of green areas, and you know, whatever team uses that ball best of all will win it.
Noel McGrath has it for Tipperary, and that was comfortable again. They did that many times during the first half. Wonderful ball fired in, I think, by Shane Burke, and McGrath had space and time and did this.
Great score, but you'd be expecting Cork with 6 defenders, there's someone to stick like glue to Noel McGrath. He's one of the most experienced and dangerous forwards that Tip had.
Here comes Jamie Coughlin. 2 Tipperary men, and they've robbed it back off, and I think Shane McGrath has the ball in his hand, and he's got it free as well. And down in front of us on the Tip bench, there's players up with arms in the air. Another big moment in this game, and Coughlin continues on with Shane McGrath.
Yeah, just a nudge in the back there, right when there was no need for it really. Shane McGrath was held on the line, and you know, pull out your hands and make things awkward for him. But a great steal there by Shane McGrath. He pumps the air there. He's delighted with that, and Jamie Coughlin, not that experienced, but he should have got to his feet. It's very difficult to pass the ball when you're sitting on the ground.
Conor O'Mahony with the free for Tipperary. Home advantage, many thought would be a big advantage for Cork. Tipperary with great experience in their team. They've been in the last 3 All-Ireland finals. Shane O'Neill pulling on that. The Bonamar down in a dangerous position. The ball is there as well too, but now it's in the hands of Conor O'Sullivan for Cork. Calm play. Nash gives that absolutely everything to try and get Cork moving forward again. Patrick Horgan missed it. Cody O'Sullivan couldn't get to it, and there's Páirc for Tipperary. Driving out, but he's hooked by O'Sullivan. He's got help though from Shane McGrath. Now onto it is Tom Stapleton, has had a really fine game for Tipperary, just until that moment as he puts it into the corner. But Shane Burke sets off like a freight train, and there in front of him, Conor O'Sullivan. Cork deal with that nicely. Daniel Carney. Then it's direct. into the full forward line. Páirc Cronin couldn't get to it. Cleared for Tipperary by Conor O'Brien. Frantic moments. Here's Páirc. Great catch from Burke. He's got a free man to his left and also behind. Noel McGrath there. McGrath steadies down, shoots and scores for Tipperary. That is a quality point after a frantic passage of play.
Yeah, and that's excellent score again from Noel McGrath. He's having a blinder here today, and Páirc is supporting him very well. Great supporting position here, and just had a quick look and stuck it over the bar. But that all coming from Daniel Carney, just hitting a speculative lob up to the Cork forwards. As I said, hitting short the ball and hoping to put him in possession.
Luke Farrell will be in for Cork next time we get the opportunity, which may well happen now. Luke wearing number 25 from Middleton. And it's Conor Lehane who's making way. Luke, another one of these talented youngsters that Cork have, and they're very talented and also well up to the big day. And today, a huge day for them. Unsure of themselves after the league final beating at the hands of Kilkenny, but that happens to so many teams. Tipperary down to 14 players, a goal between them. Bonnermar and Noel McGrath. Little turn allows him to weigh up the options. Páirc is one of them. Another one. Here's Lar Corbett. Corbett taken down by O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan may see yellow for that challenge. If Corbett had got away from it, there was half of a goal-scoring opportunity for the great man, but Conor O'Sullivan, a yellow card for the Cork man.
Well, there wasn't much else he could do, Darragh, and I think if he had not fouled him, he would have gone straight through. Yeah. So that would be a kind of a bonus there for Cork, in that they concede a point rather than the goal. Páirc
lining this up. Fourth Cork player to be booked is Conor O'Sullivan, and Páirc, while they're down to 14 players, they really have responded in some fashion.
Lovely pass from Páirc and a lovely jink from Lar Corbett. He was gone through and left the hurley in and a free for tip.
Páirc Mar, that was taken away from Mar. Now an opportunity for Cork. They need a point, and Daniel Carney has given it to them. They're not gone away yet by any means, and still plenty of time for Cork. Goal between them.
They'll catch it by Ciaran McCarthy and just release the ball to his clubmate Daniel Carney, and Cork stay in touch.
Under 6 minutes of the 70 remain. Waterford await the winners in the Munster final, which will take place in the middle of July.
Brendan Cummins is targeting Lar Corbett down that wing, and they've had a bit of good fortune there. Ball just knocked out of the line, but they're doing very, very well on that side, and Tip with 40 men, 3 points up.
Just a reminder, 10:10 tonight on RT2, the Sunday game with Des Cahill. An awful lot to get through, and another very busy weekend of Gaelic games. Shane McGrath with the cut for Tipperary. Oh, and William Eagle juggling with that, did well. A goal between them. Daniel Carney clears for Cork. Páirc Mar sets off in chase, and again tucking the ball anywhere near him usually brings this result, particularly in the second half. Mar, that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Mar. Now Jamie Coughlin. Ciaran McCarthy fires that in. Now Luke Farrell. Michael Cahill there with him, and Cahill penalised, free in coming up for Cork. 3 between them. If Patrick Horgan can do his stuff, they're back to within 2.
Well, I think that's the type of play that Cork need to use the ball a little shorter, and then let their half forwards have a look and put the ball in front of the runner inside, and that gets them a free.
That's the foul. You're going to hear a big roar from the Tipperary followers here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Owen Kelly's going to come in.
That was Pádraig Mar giving the ball straight to Jimmy Cullen, but he used it very, very well, and this is a big pressure free for Pat Horgan now.
Got one from a similar sort of angle down at the other end in the first half. Not easy, pucking off his right, and Patrick Horgan has done his stuff. Yeah, white flag goes up, so back to within 2.
Yeah, but you made the point out just earlier, Daniel Carney hit a huge ball up and it was gobbled up by Pádraig Mar. I know he gave it away afterwards, but Cork, I think, should move the ball, 40, 50 metre passes rather than just speculative lobs, and Owen Kelly coming in, big Philip.
Páirc going off. Sorry, Donald, to interrupt you. Páirc 12 points in this match. 9 frees, 3 from play, and Owen Kelly goes straight in at full forward. Brian Murphy marking him. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Bonner-Marr for Tipperary. Owen had his jersey pulled clearly by Daniel Carney. Bonner-Marr giving the ball to Owen Cadigan. That wasn't by design at all. Daniel Carney there. Pressure from Owen Kelly. Dying just to get involved in this for Tipperary. Fires it back to Shane McGrath. McGrath off his shoulder. That's not going to work for Tipperary, and it's cleared by William Egan. In the central position, played centre back for Cork last year. Pulled on in the air first time by Cian McCarthy. Paddy O'Sullivan out. They have the advantage of an extra player, but Tip hurling out of their skins to try and book another place in a Munster final. There's an incident off the ball with Jamie Coughlin and one of the Tipperary men. It's Shane McGrath. The ball is fired in close. They need a goal, and it's fired wide. It's put wide by Cian McCarthy. Cian McCarthy of Cork firing that wide.
What a ball in there from Conor O'Sullivan, picking out his clubmate there, and all he had to do was run into the fence and pop the ball into Luke O'Farrell, and that would have been a goal chance for Cork, and he'd be very disappointed himself. That was the winning of the game, really, Dara. Great chance.
Tipperary leading by 2 points. Time against Cork. Conor O'Sullivan just swung at that. Daniel Carney over elaborating, but William Egan was in a better position to do that and to fire it forward. Pat Cronin has struggled to get his hands on the ball in the air in the second half. This man has owned it anytime it's come near him. Páirc Marr. Ball squirts loose. Tipperary free.
Yeah, let's have a look at that again, Dara. I'm not sure that Páirc Marr dropped the hurley before he palmed it. Be interesting to see that. Paddy Sullivan is complaining about something here. See Páirc Marr here. Oh no, he dropped it in the tackle and palmed it away, right. Paddy Sullivan making vehement gestures to the referee as if that he had dropped it and palmed it, but Brian Gavin doing an excellent job, it must be said.
And Brendan Cummins is going to take the free for Tipperary, and he is in no particular rush to puck it forward. 32,568 here in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Tip going to make another change. Cummins pucks it forward. Bit of panic in the Cork defence, but there were some cool heads. One of them is Conor O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan fouled by the Bonner-Marr. Eats into a little more time. Last minute of the 70.
And that's about Conor O'Sullivan, Dara. He's an excellent player at holding the ball and finding somebody just to, Cork haven't got Daniel Carney into the game at all. His forte really is running at the defenders, but he seems to be playing a sort of withdrawn left half forward position.
2 minutes to be added on. Cork still have time. Tipperary want to bring Dunamar in. That ball has gone out over the line. Lorcan McLaughlin wants to get on with it straight away, but Jamie Coughlin will cut this for Cork.
Well, excellent tackle there, right? Okay, knocking the ball away for, and Lorcan McLaughlin left it go out wisely to let it go over the sideline. If he had put his hurry to it, he might have knocked it out himself.
Tom Stapleton off for Tipperary. That is Dunamar. So now, Jamie Coughlin, they're 2 points behind. And there's 2 minutes being added on. They need a goal. Coughlin tries to give them a point, and there's a player in the square. Free out.
Well, I presume he went for the point there, but it's a bit of a waste. I think that Cork might find it a bit easier to get 2 points here now rather than a goal and try and go for the draw. They've had enough possession over the last 2 minutes to do that, but Tip have done very, very well since John O'Brien has sent off really with 14 men.
Again, some more seconds eaten into by Brendan Cummins. Tipperary lost John O'Brien. He was sent off for 2 yellows in the 47th minute. Here's Lorcan McLaughlin. His passage through not made easy at all. Now Luke Farrell trying to get there, but Michael Cahill using his experience, but Farrell still has it as Hurley was pulled back. Farrell hooped for Cork. They need a goal from somewhere, and Páirc Marr, who else, comes up with the ball for Tipperary and belts it clear. But Cork's Shane O'Neill has got it, free in coming, and they've less than a minute to come up with a goal. They're looking for advice from the line. I think it's Yeah, it's Patrick Horgan who's come out and he's looking for advice. He's looking over towards Jimmy Barry Murphy as if to say, well, what am I going to do here? He's on the 65-metre line, and Jimmy Barry, I think, has told him. He just signalled at the post.
Well, the last thing you'd want to do is hit it wide, Dara. Point will put you in the game if you get a free from the puck out.
2 minutes of time being added on, and Horgan follows instructions. Jimmy Barry told him to put it over the bar, and he's done just that. Seconds away from a place in the Munster final are Tipperary, just one between them. Possession now for Cork, absolutely crucial from Cummins' puck out.
This will be launched, I'd say, way down as far as the 20-metre line.
Brendan Cummins with the puck out. It's gone over the head of William Egan. Cork have got to get the ball. Owen Cadigan there. Bonner Marr 2. The 2 minutes are gone. The 2 minutes are up. There's a line ball though. Still time for that. Line ball for Cork. William Egan desperately wants the ball back. Just a point between them. Tip down to 14 players. You think of Jamie Coughlin's sideline cut where he went for the point and missed it. Horgan has brought them back to within one. The 2 minutes are up and it's all over here in Páirc and Tipperary celebrate wildly as they get through to another Munster final. Cork gave it absolutely everything, but they've come up a point short, Donald.
Yeah, well, you'd have to say that, you know, the experience of Tip in the end brought them through some excellent scores, and brilliant game by Noel McGrath, particularly in the corner. Great movement by Tip's forwards today. You know, big improvement out against Limerick, and you know, deserved the win in the end.
Yeah, Tipperary moving it to another level. They had John O'Brien sent off in the 47th minute of this contest. Cork dejected. Their young team, well, there is a bit of a team brewing there, isn't there?
Well, I think the Cork forwards did very, very well. They may have erred a little bit in hitting long ball into them in the second half rather than trying to create one-on-ones, because they had a Tip defence in trouble in the first half when they put them under pressure. But you would have to say that the introduction of you know, Lark Corbett and John O'Brien did some, you know, nice passes. That goal, I suppose, in the end was crucial. Cork had a couple of goal chances, missed them, and you only get a number one or two good goal chances in championship match. So, you know, you'd have to say that the team that wins, that has the best score, wins the match, and, you know, deserved by Tip, but nobody would have tribbled, I think, if there was a draw today.
Well, Tipperary do leave Páirc with the best score, their third win here over Cork since, what, 1923. They found it hard to win here. It was never going to be easy today. It was a battle right to the end, and just a point between them as Tipperary win by 122 to Cork's 24 points. What a game.
Yeah, what a game indeed. And our next live championship action. Preparing for this year's Munster hurling final has been decided. It will, of course, be Waterford versus Tipperary. That's on July the 15th, and it will be in Páirc. Jarlath Na and Cyril Farrell with me here in studio. That was a tremendous game of hurling, sir. Right winners in the end, do you think?
Michael, you can't beat a good game of hurling. It was absolutely brilliant. You'd have to congratulate both teams, and both 23 or 4 players that came on, because they were thrown on subs there at the end, like, you know. It was a great game of hurling. I suppose Tip, like, 4 team in, just deserve it. But you'd have to say, like, that Cork put up with a new team, really, even since the league final, put up a great display. They'll be very disappointed to lose, but their performance is very, very good. It probably, I was saying to Ger before the programme, if Tip lost, it'd take a lot more out of them. I still think they set Tip up for a long year, because there was little rumbles in the camp, but you can't beat a win over Cork. OK, the hay mightn't be saved, or there's no hay now, it's probably silage, it was so wet down there, it's probably washed away. But, like, a win over Cork down in Páirc, they haven't won that many times down there, against the head when they were down to the 14 men, like, and, you know, the big names coming on, Lark Corbett coming on, Shane Burke played very well coming on, Owen Kelly came on. You'd have to say, like, their team their panel is getting stronger the whole time. And they have been in the last 3 All-Ireland finals against Kilkenny. They've won one of them, and they're probably the team the whole time that, if they get it right, can really shackle, you know, have a good go at Kilkenny.
One of the aspects of it from a Cork point of view, Ger, surely is, after that Alliance League final defeat, a lot of people are asking questions about them. They probably ask questions about themselves. At least now they know they have the makings of a team.
Yeah, without a doubt, Michael, you know, and the things that improved most about it today was their work rate, you know, because they realised against Kilkenny that work rate is not good enough for the modern game. And you saw the forwards today, how they hassled and harried the Tipperary backs, took a lot of ball off them and got scores from them. And I thought the decisive thing, though, about Tipperary's win was the improvement in their defence, especially the half-back line in the second half. You know, Maher came into the game. They just held that central area much better in the second half than they did the first. But the most relieved man coming out of Páirc Chaoimh this evening is John O'Brien, because you know they were beginning to cruise when John was sent off, and we were saying at half-time everything was going wrong for him on the day. You know, when Declan Ryan thinks of it again, he probably should have taken him off earlier on. But what a game! You know, the Munster Championship this year has given us 3 terrific struggles. You know, you can argue as much as you like about what the standard is. I thought the standard today was absolutely great. And I suppose Kilkenny will be saying it's a case of, you know, when the cat's away, the mice can play, you know, but there were no mice there today. Real men, a real traditional style game. And, you know, it was something as Cyril said, it was something we badly needed. It was something we got and really, really enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it, badly needed. I'm sure Declan Ryan, the Tip manager, badly needed that win as well. See them into another Munster. Finally, he's talking to Joanne.
Declan, when you came here, the first thing you did was a huge big sigh. It sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, fantastic game today. You know, real Munster Championship, real Tip in Cork. Just delighted with the way our guys stuck at it there, showed great heart, showed great character. But you know, that's what they've been showing in training over the last 3-4 weeks. So, not surprised by that.
And that you did have to fight back against Limerick as well, obviously stood you.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the substitutions we made today paid off as well. Shane Buck injected a good bit of pace there. Great to see Owen coming on there and Lar. You know, so delighted with the way the thing worked out. Obviously, it was touch and go there at the finish when we were down to 14 men. But you know, just delighted for the lads because of the effort they've put in over the last couple of weeks there.
After John O'Brien did go off, at one stage it looked like he might be building a bit of a cushion, but all of a sudden Cork came back in, so that obviously has to be a concern to you.
Yeah, we got a great goal there. I think you know, a fantastic goal. Put us 2 or 3 points up, I think, and. When John went off, then we lost our shape for a little bit there. But credit to the guys, they dug deep there and they won a few 60-40, 40-60 balls there in the finish. You know, they showed real character.
Yeah, this has been what it's been really about for Tip this year, hasn't it? Showing that character.
Well, they've been preparing very hard since the 1st of January, and you know, I think that showed there today the way they stuck at it, and I think their fitness levels are well up there. You know, we can improve in some areas there, but just overall, I'm really, really delighted for the backroom team and the players.
And another big proposition now coming up in Waterford for the final.
Yeah, delighted to be in the Munster final again. It's a huge achievement any year to get into the Munster final, and. You know, just delighted to get out of Cork today. We don't have a great record here over the years, and we knew it was going to be a massive battle today. You know, full credit to Cork for the way they went about their business today. I think they were credit to GA.
Okay, so no mention of Waterford then?
Well, you know, we'll think about Waterford tomorrow. You know, just we have to let this one sink in first. But you know, Waterford in the Munster final now, and they'll be going all guns blazing again. So a lot to look forward to.
Oh, well done today. Thanks a lot, Declan.
Yeah, there was nothing won today, obviously, for Tipperary, but at the same time, that's an important win for them, for Declan Ryan. All the stuff over the last couple of months there that's been going on, the whole Corbett thing, and other bits and pieces as well in the camp.
Yeah, Michael, when you come in and replace a manager that has won the All-Ireland before you, the only thing you can do then is be as good and win it, which they didn't win it last year. And since that defeat last year, there's rumblings the whole time. Now, Declan Ryan is a very, very decent guy, and he's a great hurler, and he wouldn't be as flamboyant as other managers, but he knows his stuff. Now, against Limerick, they got out of jail. I think they learned a lot that day. You know, 6 points down, 50 minutes to go. Brendan Cummins brought off a great save. If that went in, the game to me was over. Now he's progressed in his role, and the team is becoming united. Okay, you'll always have little rumblings. Like I was just talking to Jerry before the programme. Everyone loves to be on the team, but like the panel is the team. And like Brian Cody is stressing that to hold them. Again, that panel won the game for Tipperary. Now the Cork subs are good too. This Tip juggernaut getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And even though I think Cork were beaten, Cork were in a better position, shall I say, to lose today. Because if Tip lost, the stuff that Declan Ryan did, you'd be hearing fights in pubs and fights on the pitch, they'd bubble up again. And you must remember, he handled the Lar thing very well. Because Lar kind of just took a sabbatical. He didn't get involved. Of course he wanted them back. He stayed very quiet. And eventually, sure, Lar is back. And now he's back in the fold again. And you can bet your bottom dollar that he'd probably be picked the next day. So, we have a great summer to look forward to. It's really starting building up now. Thanks be to God.
We're going to have to assume, by the way, that none of the Tip players or management were involved in any of those fights in the pubs. We have more to talk about from this Munster hurling semi-final. Join us again after this short break.
A financial plan for every fan. Ulster Bank, proud sponsors of the GAA Football Championship.
It's another unbeatable weekend of sport on RTE. On RTE1, full live coverage of the Irish Open from Portrush. On RTE2, all the action from the European Athletics Championships.
Oh, there you have it!
Tyrone take on Donegal in the Ulster semi-final, and Meath face Kildare in the Leinster semi-final. There's top-class flat racing from the Curragh.
And Treasure Beach wins it.
And UEFA Euro 2012 reaches a climax. RTE delivers another unbeatable weekend of sport next weekend.
Worried about car insurance costs?
We're off around Ireland to meet people who could save you money.
A customer went online, she got a great price from us, then she phoned me and I talked through the cover with her.
And now when you take out a new car insurance policy, we'll give you 12 months for the price of 11.
So call 1890 247 365, drop in or visit axa.ie.
Ireland's most successful scrappage deal is back with the Renault Scrap-A-Tony deal. That's right, the Scrap-A-Tony deal. Can you just stop? Thanks. Forget it, lads. The scrappage deal is for 1 month only. Scrap any car 8 years or older, get €1,500 on top of current booster offers. The great Renault Scrap-A-Tony deal. Well, that's not even funny. You can actually damage your eardrums, you know? You can actually damage your eardrums.
Shirley Carney found her motivation and lost 4 stone.
After my third baby was born, I had to lose the weight because nothing fitted me. I found the programme fantastic. It wasn't complex, there was no hidden agendas to it. It did what it said in the tin. If you followed to it and stuck to the plan, you lose weight. Very, very simple. You get results. People started to notice, that I was smiling more. It was me. I was back.
Lose and maintain your weight for life. Find your motivation today. Call 1850 30 6000 or visit motivation.ie.
What's the story later, Dave?
What's that?
You might need these, Dave.
Dave, can you hear me? Dave.
It's new, it's truly revolutionary, and it will transform the way you watch TV. Nobody but UPC has the fibre power to deliver true, on-demand TV, bringing you the best TV series and box sets from the US, BBC and ITV, and the RTE player and 3-player on your TV. All for free. With UPC TV. Plus loads more, all at the touch of a button. This is On-Demand TV. Now nobody does TV like UPC.
Reliving great championship moments at experiencemore.ie.
Here on the Sunday Game, we're reflecting on this afternoon's Munster hurling semi-final between Cork and Tipperary. We were saying at half-time, lads, that a goal might solve this one, and I guess it really did. We thought it might be Lar.
Yeah,
did have a role in it, but
he did have a role. He did have a role in it, but I'd say everybody watching on television, everybody in Páirc says a goal will win this game. A goal will be vital, and so it proved, and so it came to Tipperary. And what a move it was! You see, Bonham Maher here, no regard as usual for life or limb. Great ball in, and a lovely pass by John O'Brien. A brilliant over-the-shoulder pass, and here's Lar, just a beautifully weighted pass. The right man had it at the end, Noel McGrath. Look at that for a catch. Noel McGrath, and he buries it in the net. Beautiful move, Cork backs, look at 3 outside and 2 inside. The Cork backs cut out a bit far out. But the way it was finished by McGrath was just, the goalie had no chance whatsoever. The level of skill today was just mind-boggling. It was just brilliant.
Well, despite that defeat, Jimmy Barry Murphy certainly had his troops well up for this game here today. It didn't quite work out. I'm sure he's philosophical about all that. He's talking to Joanne.
Thanks very much. Jimmy, the skill was just mind-boggling. That's what Chaoimh Nan was just saying. Is that any consolation to you, the fact that you don't have a Munster final now?
Well, it's consolation, certainly. I thought we played well at times, maybe showed a bit of inexperience at times as well, which a number of young players making their first senior championship debut. But, overall, I'm just disappointed for the lads. We had chances to win it, maybe. I suppose also, to be fair, the extra man helped us, certainly. But I think I can't deny Tipperary. They were just probably a better team on the day.
But experience is the word you use there. Do you think that was maybe the main difference today?
Well, I think it can be a factor, certainly. I mean, Tip are a very, very experienced team, and in fairness, when they created a great goal chance, and when they got it, they took it. I haven't seen the goal was disallowed for us yet, so I can't comment on it. But in fairness, McGrath got a fantastic goal, and they worked that situation very, very well. Maybe when we had opportunities in similar situations, we might learn to do something in the future for younger players. It takes time to get to that level, and we're working very hard to get to that level.
You did, though, respond very, very well to the goal, and then, it came right down to the wire at the end.
We did, really. I thought some of those lads who came in as substitutes as well worked very well for us. They made a difference and showed that they can play at this level. So I'm just very disappointed for the players. They've made a huge effort, but that's the way it goes. You win some and you lose some.
I know you are gutted for the players and gutted that you're not in a Munster final. Are you in many ways, though, also quite pleased that you're able to put in a performance like that for one of the first championship games for a lot of those players? Yeah, well, you're never happy when you lose, but I suppose after the league final, which was a big setback, was the way we played. We never played really on the day. That was a big improvement, certainly. I'm just not sure how we react to being beaten today. We're going forward now to the knockout play over the back door, whatever they call it, and that can be a difficult role to pick up players. So that's our job, though. We'll move on and hopefully learn from today and take the positives from it and learn from the mistakes we made as well. No doubt you will. Well done today. Thanks very much.
And you can be quite sure a lot of counties won't fancy meeting Cork when they come into those qualifiers. Sir, when Noel McGrath gave Tip the advantage, then for a while it looked like Tip had handed it back again. The John O'Brien sending off now was for a second yellow, but you lads kept saying they should have taken him off at half time.
Yeah, I thought that's the first one in the first half. I was saying to Jeremy going into half time, he's on the yellow, this is very dangerous. Now here he comes and he comes out late. Now Brian Murphy, the Cork full back line in particular, it's just a lazy, you can't do that. It's on the side of the head. It could have been a straight red as well, because it wasn't that it was that hard, but you just can't slap a lad that way. But the Cork full back line all day, Michael, they keep attacking the ball. That's their policy, out in front. Brian Murphy, Shane O'Neill, O'Sullivan, they had quite a good, they were effective enough and kept driving forward. That handed the initiative. Okay, it was a great goal for Tip, and then Maher got a great point, but straight away they had the extra man, and as Jim Barry Murphy referred to there, they didn't use the extra man at time the backs had an extra man just to pop a little hand pass and walk it up, but they were hitting it long. That was going up where it was 6 on 6, but they are very inexperienced, but they'll learn a lot from it. I'll tell you one thing, in the round robin or back to whatever you want to call it, as Jim Barry said, no one will fancy meeting them, because if they produce that form again, they'll be very hard to beat.
No, they will for sure of that. Sir just mentioned there Páirc Maher's important point. I thought this was one of the key scores in the game, Ger.
Yeah, it was.
When they needed steadying down.
Well, you see, it was a key score because it came just after the goal. He sold it up the field, put the ball over the bar. He raised his hand, I think, after putting it over the bar. Now, they had the run on Cork at that. And I suppose what changed that is what you're often talking about. The John O'Brien sending off took place just after that, and that broke Tipperary's momentum again. So, that's why John O'Brien, if they had been beaten today, he'd really have been the fall guy for this. But the game ebbed and flowed. But I just go back to one thing Jimmy Barry Murphy said there. You couldn't see Cork. He's dead right. You couldn't see Cork because of their inexperience scoring a goal like Tipperary got today. They didn't have that composure, or they didn't have that experience. The fellas that were involved in it, Bonham Maher, John O'Brien, look at the experience he's had. Look at the experience Lair has. And look at the experience Noel McGrath has. That experience is what made that goal. Now, the other lads up at the other side, there were times when they could have got a goal, maybe the extra pass, the little bit of excitement when you're inexperienced, you'll go for the point instead of going for the goal, but that'll come.
It will come, and they may not have got the goal, sir, as Ger said, but at the same time they scored some fantastic points in that game, the Cork forwards, from a position where going into the game a lot of experts are saying, where are Cork's scores going to come from? Yeah,
and Declan, I won't be happy with the Tip full backline at all. They were all in trouble. Paul Curran was in trouble, Mickey Cal was in trouble, Conor O'Brien, they were all in trouble when the ball went in there. Now, the second half wasn't as much because the puck out wouldn't be coming as far, but all the Cork forwards, Pat Horgan caused trouble, Jamie Coughlin first game caused trouble, Pebbles O'Sullivan caused trouble, and everyone that came on, Keane McCarthy, they all were very, very dangerous, but they just had the little extra composure. And when Tip got the chance to that goal, Michael, it came to Noel McGrath, and even it was a great shot. He even bounced it on the ground. He gave Nash no chance at all. But they weren't able to drive on because of the extra man.
OK, he's got many a cheer from Tip supporters down through the years. He got another one when he came on as a sub today. He played his part. That, of course, is Lara Corbett.
Lara, well done today. What was it like being back?
Yeah, delighted to get back. Delighted to get back involved with the boys for the last couple of months. And great performance there today from all the boys, and I suppose a few lads that came on as well. It's a great effort from the whole panel together.
Does it make it, you know, that it's worthwhile when you do have, as Michael mentioned in your intro, this huge cheer when you're getting ready to come on the pitch?
Well, that doesn't really. That's great. It's really about down to the performance of the players. And I suppose the most important thing when we went down to 14 men, the character of the players really came out. And the likes of Owen and a few of the boys coming off the bench. And I suppose the one thing we'll be looking forward to is next Tuesday, next Thursday night, there's going to be pressure for places. Whoever thinks that they have a spot now, there's going to be someone on their back. So that's really what we want, and that's what we've been striving towards for the last number of years. Two people for every position. And I think that's really what we have now. We have a good, strong panel looking forward to the Munster final.
And given the decisions that were made going to this game, I presume nobody feels as if their place is secure.
And that's really what we want. I suppose, just really looking forward to training now for the next couple of weeks before the Munster final.
How did you feel your touch was? Did you feel like you'd felt, say, a year ago?
Well, I suppose with a bit of a layoff there for a few months, I was going to feel a little nervous trying to get back into things, but I'm just delighted to be able to get the opportunity to get back involved with the lads over the last 6-7 weeks, and just delighted to get a few minutes there today, and just all I really want to do is contribute to Tipperary hurling.
Well, we look forward to seeing plenty more of you this summer. Well done, Lara.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
You see, that does raise the question with Lara. Is he now, I mean, he's been in that Tip shirt for some 11 years. Is he an impact sub, or will they start him?
No, he's not an impact sub. Lara's a starter. Just like Henry Shefflin. You saw what Henry Shefflin last night, walked all over the field, but still his striking or his sharpness was that little bit off, naturally enough after coming back for so long. The same with Lara today. But you have no idea, people who haven't played have no idea what even 10-15 minutes of a championship game can mean to improve your sharpness. So he'll be there the next day. But Declan and I will also be delighted with Páirc today, the way he played. And Shane Burke when he came on. And Noel McGrath, who had, we were all doubting him after Limerick. We thought he was a bit unfit. He was absolutely fantastic today. And I thought Tom Stapleton, the wing back, for all those cockbrook outs that were aimed at him, he did extremely well in batting the ball away from Páirc Ronan.
Michael, there's one important point about Lara Corbett and Henry Shefflin. If you looked at last night's match, during the league, Henry was not playing. Richie Power, brilliant free taker. Owen Larkin, brilliant free taker. But first evening back, even missing the whole year, he's like Cody says to him, Henry, you're the king, you take the frees. So when you're number one, I really think that Lara will be on the next day, because if you're number one, you play your best team, if you have them.
One final point before we go, lads, very briefly. Cian McCarthy had a chance at the end of this game to turn this thing around in Cork's favour again.
Yeah, the thing is, he played very well. Now, Cork still played very well, and they had the chances, as Jim Murphy said. This is a long ball going up here, and Tip still didn't look kind of that effective in defence. Now, here he goes, he takes a snapshot. Now, he could have he catches it very well. He should have ran a bit and drew the corner back and just hand pass in. There's a man on the left, but he just kind of inexperienced, went for kind of glorious balls. But they will learn the trade if they get a few more matches, and I still think they'll come out of them round robin matches.
I'm sure they probably will, Ger, but it's Tip into the Munster final.
It is Tip, yeah, but there'll be big interest in half-past day. I think it's Monday morning. When the draw is made tomorrow morning on the radio, there'll be very big interest on draws, because if Dublin and Cork draw each other, it's only 2 weeks to go. You'd expect a big backlash from Dublin and Cork. Where will they go after today? So. Sure. As Cyril said earlier on, the summer is only starting. And, the Munster Championship, we have 3 fantastic games, and we have a long, long summer to look forward to.
We surely do, and that draw is on Monday morning, just after 8:30 on Morning Ireland RT Radio 1. That's where we have to leave it on the Sunday game on this programme. Thanks indeed to Cyril Farrell and to Ger Loughnane, who've been here with me in studio for our hurling analysis. Take Your Point is coming up in a few minutes' time on RTE Radio 1 with Damien O'Reilly. And hopefully you'll be able to join us again next weekend for more Championship action. But for the moment, from all of us here on the Sunday game, take care.
Super Value, proud sponsors, real supporters of the GAA Football All-Ireland Championship.
She's alive.
The team feel betrayed.
I understand that you're angry, but I hope that you understand that this was about saving Emily.
I came to your house for 10 weeks in a row crying over losing a friend, and not once did you have the decency to tell me the truth.
Emily, there's a lot about you being back that's unresolved.
But the bad guys keep on coming. A new series of Criminal Minds coming soon to RTE2.
Now nobody does TV like UPC. Only UPC has the fibre power to deliver true on-demand TV with the best TV series and box sets from the US, BBC and ITV, plus the RTE player and 3-player on your TV. All for free with UPC TV. And there's loads more.
This is the TV you love with On Demand, and it's only from UPC. With 25 meg fibre power broadband, that's still 3 times faster, and great value home phone. For less than you pay Sky and Aircom guaranteed. Just €66 a month. Sign up online at upc.ie and pay only €33 a month for the first 4 months.
You know, style is part of my life, but not just at work. At home, I like to surround myself with nice things. That's why I want furniture that is stylish and elegant and does not cost the earth. Could I possibly have found my style soulmate right here in Dublin at the Soul Lifestyle Furniture Store? Sale now on.
When I travel, I don't have to pay for any baggage. I get all the benefits of first-class travel, and I can use my phone. Hello? I can surf the internet, relax. Or I can just chill out in the spa. No, I'm good. I call it a carcation. It's fantastic, like the ship.
Enjoy the greatest choice of routes and sailings and save up to 20% when you book early. Stena Line, making good time.
Those with frequent heartburn imagine a day free from worry. A day when we can enjoy our favorite foods and favorite drinks and sleep soundly through the night. That day has arrived. Pantaloc Control. Just one pill helps control acid production at the source for up to 24 hours to help keep you heartburn free all day, all night. And it's only available at the pharmacy counter. So ask your pharmacist for Pantaloc Control.
In cinemas now, Bruce Willis is the sure thing, Rebecca Hall is the lucky charm, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is the jinx in a feel-good summer comedy. It's laugh-out-loud funny.
Working for a gambler is no life ambition.